Hey guys, and welcome back to the Blue Podcast Network. This is episode 16, Charles Leclerc of the Chequered Show. With me, I've got Liam once again, and I'm joined, a new member, a new character unlocked on the Chequered Show. We've got Faith, and Matt, as always, is with me. When we have a new guest, a new person, we asked them who do they support, and maybe the reason why.
So, team-wise, it's McLaren.
Okay.
And pretty much always has been. It was Mercedes when Luce was winning, but then it kind of, because that's what my dad did. He was like, I support Luce, so I was like, okay, I'll support Luce. Yeah. And then when I started getting into it, it was McLaren. Person-wise, this season, I'm a Norris fan, but because Ollie Behrman lives in Chelmsford,
big Ollie Behrman.
I'm a massive Ollie Behrman fan.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So Behrman and McLaren.
Mainly, yeah.
Okay, fairs. Okay. Shall we get on to the qualifying? Sprint race. Turn 1 incident. I want to ask. I just want one word. Who do you think was at fault, or if any driver was at fault?
Hülkenberg.
I don't think anyone was at fault.
Piastri.
I don't think anyone was. I think it was a racing incident.
Yeah.
Well, I get
what,
that.
What? Okay, right. First of all, I'll ask you why do you think it's Piastri, and I'll come back to you.
The one thing I'd say is if they are putting repercussions on Norris, Piastri should have the same ones now, because I think that he's as much to blame for that as Norris was for the other one. Because if you look at it, I saw a really slowed down video of it. He turns in 180 degrees last minute. Hülkenberg can't physically react to that in time. So he's literally just cut across, forgetting there's other cars behind him. If he did that 20 laps later when there's no one there, fine. That's not your fault. But when you're in turn 1, you can't try a switch back like that. You can't do it.
But you did have Fernando Alonso on the inside.
Yeah, that's why I think it's difficult, because Alonso was there. Which anyway, I think Alonso's kind of gone under the radar there, where I think he's at more fault than what people are actually saying he is. Because
Piastri's mirrors though.
But things.
But who uses their mirrors nowadays?
It's so hard to look at the mirrors as well. Yeah, but also, what do you expect Piastri to do? Just tuck him behind Norris and just go? Like he's obviously going to try. And I think with the US is that you see a lot of the corners are very kind of almost like bottleneck sort of corners. It's that those instances. I think you don't get those sort of instances in other circuits on the calendar.
Yeah, but I would also say he could have done what other drivers behind him did, which was go wide at the first corner and just come around the outside and rejoin. Because you don't get penalised for that in turn 1.
But he was on the inside of the grid, right? So he can't.
But the way he turned, he was facing that way, and he turns last minute to go that way. So he could have just gone wide around the outside. He would have lost places, but it was his fault.
Yeah, but he saw the gap.
Yeah.
So, and if you don't go, like Ayrton Senna said, if you don't go for a gap, you are no longer a racing driver.
Yeah, but the gap wasn't really there because Hülkenberg was about to take it.
But he doesn't know that.
I don't think he sees him. I don't think he can see Hülkenberg.
But he should have looked.
But who checks their mirrors?
Yeah.
You should. You're a racing driver.
But they don't use them half the time.
That's the thing. I guess it's a case of you need to understand there's going to be other drivers behind. But
that's more.
But the fact is that you don't know.
Like
that's the thing.
On the balance of it is a racing incident. Like I wouldn't expect the FIA to punish Piastri, but I would say that if they're putting repercussions on Norris for incidents like that, you've got to put the same repercussions on Piastri now.
It's just I
think he's just as at fault as Norris was.
I don't think it was 100% Piastri's fault though.
No.
I mean, if you were to put any fault, because whereas with Singapore it was a very conscious move to be side by side, and as much as we did talk about the fact he was trying to avoid Verstappen to some extent, that was a very conscious move to go side by side with his teammate in Singapore, whereas Piastri doesn't know he's going to get absolutely clobbered by Hülkenberg, and I think that is on itself. I don't know why.
Well, when I watched it the first time, I thought it was Hülkenberg's fault, but then seeing it slowed down and seeing how late Piastri turns in, it's so dangerous. When you look at it that way, like if you did that, I don't know, taking it to a basic level, if you did that in go-karting, that would you get like black flagged and told what are you doing. That's not what you do when you're racing.
Initially, I thought it was Oscar Piastri. When I first saw it, I thought it was Oscar Piastri, but I changed my mind because I think there's too many elements to that.
If you had to pick someone, who would you pick? Because you said racing incident. Who would you pick if you had?
Well, if it's racing incident, so I think they're all equal to.
So you think no one's anyone more at fault than anyone else?
No.
I think all of them are at fault for it.
Yeah.
They could easily have been not have happened.
Yeah.
But I just think if Piastri went wide, then none of it happens anyway. That's all that had to happen. If he goes wide, then no one questioned to anyone.
Yeah.
If my aunt
but then would you not have had that collision with Fernando and Nico?
I don't think
because
so.
Fernando's come right off on the inside.
Well, I think Alonso gets a bit too aggressive into turn because he goes quite late for me, and I think he's more at fault than what people are saying he is. Although I think he has the right to go for a move because the gap is there, it's open for him to do.
I don't get though how you can be too aggressive in turn one, unless you're doing a Lance Stroll in like Hungary, like where you're taking out about 5 cars.
Oh, by the way, his thing in this sprint race, how stupid was that?
You could thing is you can.
Was it in the qualifying he did it as well? Or sprint qualifying he's just driven into someone else?
He's done it too many times. So.
How he's still going is a miracle.
One thing I want to ask, which I saw online, is I saw people saying if Norris did the same thing Piastri did, he'd be getting slated for it. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think there's a lot more hatred towards Norris at the minute. I do agree. But I still think the principle stands that.
I think McLaren are a little bit more biased towards Norris in terms of a lot of things that they do.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because if you definitely see it, because it's like Zach Brown does not hide it at all. You can clearly see that when Norris wins, he's more energetic, more happy. He runs straight up to the guy. Yeah. Whereas when Piastri does it, he's a little bit more taken.
And going back onto the whole bias towards Norris thing, I don't know if you've seen the whole Palou, Zach Brown stuff that's been coming out. The whole court case with that, and it was. He promised him Fonzie, and Zach Brown didn't want Piastri. It was Angelo Style that wanted him.
Which is why I think
doesn't help.
Yeah.
Doesn't help all that bias stuff.
I don't get it because Piastri has been the better driver so far this season. As much as I like Norris,
since Netherlands he's been nowhere.
Well, no, I know obviously recently he's been worse, but over the course of the season, there's a reason he's leading the championship.
Yeah. The better driver out of the McLaren drivers is Piastri. 100%. Piastri, yes, he's not been in Formula 1 for as long as Norris, but he is more mature than Norris. He doesn't make the same silly mistakes, and it doesn't take him 5 laps to overtake someone.
He couldn't get anywhere near. He couldn't get anywhere near Piastri. Piastri couldn't get anywhere near Hamilton.
To be fair, he was terrible.
He did have a terrible race, but if you look back on what Norris has done, sometimes it's taken him 5 or 6 laps to realise, I can't do it that way. Yeah. And then he's clocked it, and it takes too long to clock in his head, which is why I think Piastri should go and win the championship. I think, and it deserves it fully. I
honestly do think in terms of pure pace, in terms of pure speed, I do think Lando Norris is a faster driver.
The way I put it is, out of the top 3, I think racecraft wise, Piastri, he's good. He can overtake. He knows when something won't work. Norris takes too long. He can't work out how to get past someone, and then Verstappen's the other way. He's a bit too aggressive, and he'll try moves that aren't necessarily on. Piastri's the only one out of the top 3 I'd say that racecraft-wise you trust. Obviously Verstappen has much more pace, but I'd say racecraft-wise Piastri's the best driver.
I trust Piastri and Verstappen a lot more. I think I trust Verstappen a little bit more because he's got 4 world championships. I know that if I go there, then he's going to be like, okay, they're there, so I'm not going to do that. I trust him to make that move, like Hamilton.
I was thinking now he knows in the title fight, so he won't do any.
He's not going to do anything stupid. I know.
Shall we move on and talk about Max Verstappen? Absolutely dominated the weekend. He would have had a perfect weekend if he didn't get. If Anthony didn't get the fastest lap. In the race.
Did he not get the fastest lap? I thought he got the grand slam.
No. It was like so. Yeah, he dominated the weekend. Now 40 points behind Piastri. I think he's now closed the gap by like 64 points since after the Netherlands. So he's done a good job at the minute. Can Max go and do it?
Well, he's not finished off the podium since.
I think he's had.
Oh, maybe.
I don't think he's finished below third.
No,
sorry. He's on second. No, I think he's on second, first, or whatever.
I don't think he's finished.
He's only finished in the top 2
out of them positions since, which is absolutely mental. The consistency is.
It's exciting.
It's very exciting.
I think he can do it. I really think if you'd asked me a couple of weekends ago, I would have probably said no. It's a bit too much. But now seeing the McLarens run into each other, which I said last time we did a Chequered show, by the way, I said that at least once or twice the McLarens will hit each other again. And I know it's contentious whether it's either of their fault, but they still hit, and I think they'll hit again. And if they hit in a proper race, and Max wins that race, that gap's 15 points, and that's much more manageable.
I think there's going to be a bigger clash I think it's going to be like Verstappen and Hamilton back when they were fighting for the championship. They're going to both take each other out badly.
I think in Vegas, I don't know why, I have a feeling something happens in Vegas.
Well, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But you can just see it happening now, like playing it out. Like you've seen it happen all throughout Formula One's history of it. These two people are going to crash, and you know it. It's building up to that, which is why I think Verstappen can go and do it. If he doesn't do anything stupid and no sanctions are put on him, I think he's going to go ahead and do it.
So I do think the whole to this season, the focus has been M2. Norris knows he needs to beat Piastri. Piastri knows he needs to beat Norris. Slowly but surely, Verstappen's there. And even at the moment where we've had this whole controversy in Singapore and who's the favourite and whatever, but it's almost like they need to now focus their attention on Max now. And I've even seen the argument with McLaren that should they prioritise one of their drivers to go if they want to drive the championship, do they just sacrifice one driver? They won't do that because they can't. Yeah. But if they was, who would you do it to?
I don't think you can because
you can't.
The problem they have, Piastri's in the lead, so he's the obvious one to back. But then he's been crap since, I don't know, Belgium, Netherlands kind of area.
Yeah.
Norris is behind in the championship, so you can't then favour him.
Yeah.
But then he's the informed driver, so they're really screwed basically.
He's like a shark for Verstappen.
Yeah.
You know, like in Jaws, where you hear the music and like it starts off really faint, and then all of a sudden he's on your tail. He's like, I call him a shark.
It's one of those you see him on the straight, and the next lap he's then in your rear.
You're like, whoa.
To be fair, I think we wrote off Verstappen too soon. I mean, to be fair, I didn't see this McLaren sort of fall off into the second half of the season in terms of like that they haven't got any faster. I feel like they're now prioritising next year's car, which is like we always can come back to bite.
The Red Bull keep upgrading their car. I think they've still got more stuff to come.
I'd also say, go on.
What surprises me is the fact that Max is third in the championship, but you have Yuki Tsunoda that's
nowhere.
Like
no.
it just shows
that an F1 team.
It just shows that Max can drive the car. They build it around Max, and the team is around Max, and he's the one further forward, and he deserves to win it.
I feel like they can build a car. They know, right, let's sacrifice the second driver, make sure Max has the best car because then he's satisfied, and from that they know, right, Max can make up the points that Yuki's not going to make.
On that though, I would say. I wanted to talk about the Mikey's effect because I saw a TikTok about this beforehand, and I know you can't take everything that you see on TikTok as fact, but apparently since he's come in as team principal after Horner left,
do you mean Mekis?
Mekis, is
no,
it?
No,
Mikey's.
No, Mekis.
Lower
Mekis. When you say Mekis, I'm like, who's that?
Italian, isn't he? Is he Italian?
Yeah, Italian. Yeah.
Right, I never knew it was pronounced like that. I've always thought it was Mikey's, but since he's come in, every practice session, they've ran the engines at 100%, whereas before they were running them at 80% because Horner was like, well, we'll sacrifice practice power so that we have better performance in the race. But since they've done that, they've practiced better, which meant they've had more confidence in the car in the race, and that's why Max is enjoying his driving again.
Yeah.
Apart from the downshifts.
Yeah.
But also, Tsunoda's performance has picked up, I'd say, because didn't he get points again this race? Which
he finished
under Horner. How many times did either of the two Red Bull drivers, Lawson or Tsunoda, get points? But it was rarely.
Lawson didn't get any points.
He didn't get any points. Yeah.
But Tsunoda barely got any, and now he's regularly getting. I know he's not getting good points, but he's still getting points.
Yeah.
I think he's made a big impact, Mekis.
Yeah. That second seat's cursed, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to drive there.
Do you think, though, like, just a little question, if Verstappen leaves Red Bull, how far do they drop down because they've focused the car around that specific driver?
It's hard because they've set it up for his driving style, so it depends if they can get someone who drives in a similar style to him, because if they can, then they'll be fine.
Well, the ideal one you go and get is Leclerc, probably. He's probably more similar to that.
I've seen Mark Webber. So Piastri's manager has been stirring the pot.
Didn't he not say something about...
He was like, he's got to pick up on his Italian.
Yeah.
So he like hints of if Ferrari or potentially Red Bull with McKees.
I would love to see Verstappen and Piastri together. I think that'd be
carnage. Then who do you choose?
Verstappen. He's a fourth-time world champion.
Okay. But it's the same with Ferrari. The fact that they prioritise Leclerc a little bit more than Hamilton, which to me I just think is wrong.
But I kind of get it because Hamilton's got 2-3 years, whereas Leclerc is their project driver, and he's been that project driver for years. Like they can't just.
And at the moment, he's being quicker than Hamilton.
Yeah, but would you not listen to the 7-time world champion?
No, of course you should. They should be. Yeah. But I get prioritising him like pit stop wise, making him the first driver, because in 5 years' time Leclerc will probably still be there and Hamilton won't be.
Yeah. It's like Aston Martin. Listen to Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, you're not going to listen to Stroll, are you?
Well, absolutely not.
I don't think either of them are there in 5 years.
I listen to Drogovic. He's not even. He's the third driver. I'd rather listen to him and then bloody Stroll.
I feel so bad for Drogovic.
But
give him the seat.
Well, he's gone over to not IndyCar. He's gone over to Formula E now. So hopefully he does well. Yeah. One final question on the Red Bull. If Max Verstappen was to win this year's championship, would this be his greatest championship that he's ever won?
I think so.
Even over 2021.
The hard thing is, because of what happened in Abu Dhabi, 2021 it's forgotten how good that was. Like that was like such a good title fight, and he did so well to win it, especially up against a 7-time world champion.
Yeah.
But then again, I just think coming from behind, how crap that car was at the start of the year.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot better now, but still, to come back with that car is impressive.
I agree.
I do wonder though. I've brought up before is that the points that Max lost in Spain this year when he had that absolute crash.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
I do wonder if that will come back to haunt him.
If he loses it by 12 points, it's on that.
Yeah.
Like that's one little worry I have, but I think definitely. I think in 21, that was an incredible season. Hamilton Verstappen. For me, I feel like they equally deserved it that year. How good they was for me.
But I don't think either of them deserved to win it in the way that they won it.
No,
because so many rules were bended.
Neither of them wanted it to win like that.
No,
neither of them wanted it that way.
No. I think Hamilton wouldn't have wanted to win like that either.
No, he wants to win in grace.
To be fair, I was going to say I don't think this would be his greatest. I feel like because of pure racecraft in 2021, like it was like because he had to show every piece of skill to come back, or not to come back, but to keep the lead. And obviously, as you said, Abu Dhabi was pretty controversial, so it kind of put a sort of downplay on sort of his title. But I think if he does it this year, it will just show that McLaren didn't develop enough. They took it for granted. I feel like
it also just shows that Verstappen has got the skill, and even if he is all the way in a rubbish car, he will put the effort into.
There are no excuses for McLaren though to not win the championship. Like looking at it the other way, like if Verstappen wins, it's as much as it is him winning it, it's also a McLaren losing it. They've got no excuse to lose this.
I think they still have the fastest car in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like although Max is
Verstappen would lap them 5 times in a race if he was in that car.
I think Verstappen made a comment about the papaya rules, and he said like,
he said I wouldn't be near them. I'd have won it by now.
Yeah. Which it's true. It is true. He's by far quicker than them.
I don't think those papaya rules have helped the championship.
No.
Absolutely.
The whole papaya rules thing when they first said it, I think that they should have just kept that indoors rather than
kept it quiet.
Rather than because now it's a whole thing that people are talking about and guessing what do they mean by all these different rules.
I think my favourite Max quote from the weekend was when he got asked, what are your chances of winning the championship? And he just said, 50-50, I win it or I don't.
Yeah, no, it's true. But should we talk a bit more about McLaren? I want to talk about Piastri. Honestly, I don't think people are talking about how bad that weekend was. I think that's one of the worst weekends he's ever had. He had no pace. He was 3/10 off Norris in, was it the shootout or on Friday? Obviously had that crash as well. Just no pace. He's only caught Luce at the end because he had some problems, which I still don't actually know what the problem was, even to now.
I don't think anyone knows.
I searched it. Didn't see anything. But is Piastri feeling the pressure a little bit?
I think they're both feeling the pressure.
Yeah. No, I think he is, because if you look back on his F3 win as well, he had a big lead and it dropped significantly late on because he clearly felt the pressure. So I think it's probably something similar here.
I said this last week. I think he's crumbling under the pressure. We saw it in Azerbaijan, and you can see now that things aren't maybe going his way in terms of. You could see his Singapore crash out after he believed he should be given the place back. That I feel like it's just he's crumbling, and
I think we've also seen him act so nonchalantly about stuff that he's now. When you see him get angry, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he's proper angry.
He's like close to Max Verstappen rage. Like, I honestly don't think his manager, Mark Webber, is is kind of an influence there as well, because
he was
always prone to a bit of a crash out, and obviously being partners with Seb and multi-21 and all that, I honestly don't blame Oscar for crashing out and feeling the pressure. But if he's feeling the pressure, then surely Norris is also feeling the pressure of it. Because they're both coming in to win their first championship ever.
But then again, I think it's better to be behind at this point. I think I'd rather be Norris in this situation, because you're 15 points behind, you've got a run at it, and you've not got the pressure on you, because it's not yours to lose, it's yours to win.
Yeah, no,
whereas Piastri is his to lose.
I agree. And at the moment, Norris is driving by far better than Piastri. And yeah, I was just disappointed, because this whole, I think before the weekend, the whole thing was with Piastri is this new Piastri, he's going to be after Norris, he's going to, you know, 2.0 or whatever. Well, I'm still waiting for that. It's Wednesday and I'm still waiting for that. Like I just don't. And even before, like even after Monza as well, we had that sort of thing. Oh, he's going to come back stronger now. It's just not happening. I think maybe it's dealing with the inner sort of politics at McLaren, and also having to do with the championship probably not helping.
Just trying to keep everyone happy. But obviously, you're never going to keep everyone happy.
No.
So.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a tough one at McLaren at the minute. But
I would not like to be at McLaren at the moment. That's the one team I wouldn't want to be in at the moment.
I think being Zach Brown or Andrea Stella, I would not.
No,
I'd be like,
no.
I wouldn't know what to do.
Well, you got to imagine how Toto Wolff felt in 2014, 2016.
Yeah.
Between that period where.
But he handled it superbly.
But he handled it really well.
Yeah, and say, probably. Just testament
also,
to how good Toto Wolff was.
I think they kind of gave Nico Rosberg the 2016 championship just to keep him happy.
Why?
Because they favoured Lewis so much.
What, by the end, what they think?
By the end, they were like, just let Nico have it.
Yeah.
Because they kept on fighting and kept on arguing and crashing out, and I was like, just let Nico take it.
They had to pick someone.
They had to pick someone, so they picked Nico.
I know it's like,
I
know it's slightly off topic, but like, I do wonder with Nico Rosberg, if he did continue, say Hamilton won in 2016, and we won in 2017, would Rosberg have still stayed? And would he have been the same driver? And also, how would that have affected 2017 and 2018, where Ferrari had a much stronger car, with Vettel have had a better chance to win the championship?
Well, on that, the aura of going out and winning a championship.
Might drop.
You're like, won a title, off I go. But I think, it would have increased Vettel's chances, because the Mercedes would have fought, and you might have seen incidents like you saw in Spain in 2016, and it would have given Vettel that extra bit, which I would have hoped would have given him, because I liked Vettel a lot. But
who doesn't like Vettel?
But I was there in his villain arc. I liked him when he was at Red Bull, and everyone started liking him when he went to Ferrari, and it became everyone knew how good he was but I was with him at Red Bull in 2010.
It's because people then started to oppose Lewis because he was winning.
Yeah.
So that's what
it always happened. Like when Max was winning all the time.
You hear all the cheers when Max is winning now. You think, what the hell was this? 2023.
You were booing him last season.
Exactly. And even before Norris, the cheers. Now he's on the podium. Sometimes he gets boos.
It will always happen because you're dominating so much. Especially when Red Bull were dominating, they will always be booed. Maybe some people will boo him because of 2021, and that's probably what a majority of it was in 22.
Yeah.
But because you dominate so much, you're like, I just want to see someone else win for once.
Yeah.
Like when we saw Carlos Sainz come out and win in Australia, and I was like, brilliant! Like this is what we want. We want racing and not someone dominating 24/7, 365. I'm like, someone else jump on the top.
Although I wouldn't mind another Hamilton dominance. That would make me much happier as a person.
I would quite like to see Hamilton win an 8th world title.
I would like to see it just so you can say that the time you've watched F1 you saw the greatest ever driver, which I still think is true, but it's that last kind of bit where the argument's kind of over.
He can put himself clear.
Yeah. So when I went to Silverstone, it was the year that Hamilton won it.
Which year? Every year?
He won
it 9 times.
It was Hamilton, Russell and Norris were the top 3 on the starting grid.
Yeah.
And Norris was like deemed to win it. I think it was, what year were we in? 24 last year, so I went last year. And I was not expecting Hamilton to come through and win it. The atmosphere was incredible. So I think, especially for British people, to see Hamilton win again would mean a lot.
You got to think as a Hamilton fan going through that whole few years, going, can he do it again? This kind of whole Abu Dhabi looming on him, which I think that moment still looms on me now. I think that is kind of don't want to use that as an excuse, but I feel like that's the pay. He still has that sort of battle in his head with that. I think people won't understand that sort of mental. I wouldn't say torture, but sort of experience.
His confidence a little
bit. He was literally 1 lap away.
1 lap,
Yes.
I think that's probably the worst part about the whole 2021 incident is what it did to Hamilton mentally, because that was like
because
he was just robbed of it. Like there's no other way to say it. He was just taken away from him for no reason.
I say bring both the cars back and then do like a little mini race, and then we can actually determine.
Yeah. But I say with 21, Abu Dhabi, that race, Hamilton, I think that's one of his best races. He had hards for like 44 laps, and he literally had the same amount of pace as Max did.
Yeah.
If I set mediums.
Or when he had the puncture at Silverstone, he was driving on 3 tyres.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I fell to the floor when I was watching that.
I know.
But should we get back on topic?
Yes,
sorry.
Massive tangent here.
So might be some good clips. But yeah, who do you think has a better chance of winning for McLaren this season, Norris or Piastri?
Norris. He's in his good part of the season now, so I think him.
Do you reckon the fact that he's doing more of these circuits at the back end of the year, and this whole thing that he does better at these sort of circuits is playing into his hands a little bit?
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, also, I feel like, as we discussed earlier, like Norris is literally driving with no pressure. He's driving like a free man.
Yeah.
And naturally, you're going to drive quicker, fast, better when you're not under the pressure. So
this will sound like a baffling statement, but I don't think like Piastri's winning the title. I think it's between Norris and Verstappen. I know that sounds crazy to say when Piastri's top.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
I think it's between Norris and Verstappen. I think if Norris can win more races than Verstappen can, he'll win it. But if Verstappen can win every race, then he will win it. I don't think Piastri wins it.
I do also think, though, if Piastri wins one more race, a bit like last year where I always felt if Max got one more race win, he would win the championship, and he did so in Brazil. What drive? Yeah. But I also do think if Piastri, say, wins in Mexico next, he is then, 47 points. Say Max wins second, he's in 47 points ahead.
If Piastri wins another race,
I think he's out of it, But if Norris finishes second, then he goes 21 points. He's now 3 race wins ahead with, 4 races to go. So I do think that Piastri is probably one more win away. Whether he win a race, because he hasn't done that in quite a while, is another question. But I do feel that he's one more win away from doing it.
I get it.
Yeah.
But anything could change. If he has another rubbish weekend, like this weekend in Austin, maybe if he has another rubbish, like what he did in Azerbaijan and just crash out on things, then I think so.
Honestly, anything can happen.
This
is why I like this season at the moment.
Yeah.
Anything
this
can happen.
Great.
I mean, it's been brilliant for fights and all sorts, but that's if we see them.
I just think grab your popcorn now.
Yeah.
This is like,
we love a bit of unpredictability.
Sit down and don't move for the next month.
Yeah.
Ferrari had a surprisingly good weekend. They've been very unpredictable this year. Looked really dodgy on Friday. They had no pace. They were P8, P10 in the shootout. But solid results, P4, P5 in the sprint race, and qualified well.
I was hoping Hamilton were going to get the podium.
I
was kind of hoping he was going to go and do it.
I was really hoping so, but I think
he had a podium this season. Other than
not
yet.
No,
not yet.
Had as a sprint
he's
win.
the longest Ferrari driver to go without a podium.
Wow,
I think he's gone
that's bad.
18, 19 races now, which isn't great, but So just want to say with Ferrari, this is a positive, but can they continue this from now to the end of the season?
There's only 4 races left.
But obviously,
it's good for them too. But still, there's not long left now.
It's Ferrari, so who knows at this rate?
But the thing is that there's still a battle for P2 in the championship. I don't really care about P2. Do you know what I mean? We care about the drivers, but do you reckon that it can have a better end to the season, more podiums for them?
Well, what I would say is we give them a lot of stick, but congratulations to the Ferrari strategists because Leclerc's strategy was superb. Like that worked phenomenally, and if it wasn't for Norris being able to bring back in those softs, Leclerc would have P2.
I think sometimes the strategists, or more specifically Lewis Hamilton's engineer, needs to actually listen to Lewis sometimes. Because you hear them on the radio arguing, and I'm like, why would you not listen to a 7-time world champion who's driving the car?
Yeah. No, I do agree.
But it's Ferrari, so who knows what's going to happen.
Before we move on from that, I want to say on the radio that we were just talking about, not McLaren, Norris's race engineer is a massive part of why he won that. Got second in that race, because he was mentally completely out of it, I think, and like he was basically giving up. He was like, "Oh, these soft tyres are gone."
Yeah.
But Will told him, "Keep pushing, keep going,"
and
he did, and he brought them back in. So he deserves credit there.
Yeah.
I thought.
I do agree. Like I say, but that's why a race engineer is so important. I think with, like Max Verstappen said that you can't imagine having no one else but GP. In his ear during the race,
I love
because just that relationship, like
on that,
Max, just shut up and get on with it.
Do you think Luce not having Bono this season
probably has affected
a
lot?
Affects, but I still don't think the car has been there, so I don't really think
it's not his
it would have
fault.
changed results, but he would have been
like mentality.
I don't think he's in the right mentality because he hasn't got Bono and it's a new environment. He's also just lost his dog. So
rest in peace, Oscar.
May rest in peace. But that hasn't helped either. He's been through a load of rubbish recently. That I think has knocked his confidence, and his mentality just hasn't been there. So he's kind of in that mood like, oh, I've just got to drive this car, try and get over the line.
Yeah, and just pray for 2026.
Pray that the new car...
What I'm hearing is that the engine's going to be so rubbish next year.
Oh.
So, and
Did you hear that they may be bringing back, is it V10s or V8s?
Please.
Surely not.
Please.
No,
I hope
they
so,
spoke about bringing back, I think, V10s, so we could actually get proper sounds.
Where we're going
from these
back to that, when we're trying to have the renewable fuel, we'll be able to have it potentially. But I don't see it because the reason why I don't see it is because cars don't develop V10, V8 engines. So I just don't. The reason why we're going to V6 is because that's the new thing. That's why we're going we're at hybrids now. So I don't see it happening, but I'd love to see it because V10s I think they're just
brilliant. That's what when you picture F1, you picture Formula 1,
cars.
you picture those cars and those noises. It's like when you go to Goodwood and you hear them, or you go to Silverstone, they do like a old car thing. They bring out all the old cars. I heard Jensen Button screaming down in his old. What was it? Brawn, thank you. And I was like, see, that's what I want. I miss that. I don't want these stupid things.
We want the noise. It makes the racing so better. Like I went to the 2017 British Grand Prix and just hearing the Formula 2 cars.
Oh, they're so loud.
Oh my god, they were.
We are going off on another tangent.
We are going on tangent. Sorry, I keep putting us in tangents.
But I just want to quickly talk about. So we're done with Ferrari now. Unless we've got anything more to touch on with Ferrari.
No. Just a good weekend for them.
Bring it on for Ferrari.
One thing I want to say is about Sainz and Antonelli. Their crash verdict on that. What was Sainz doing?
I don't know.
To be fair, when I watched it the first time, I thought Antonelli could have left in the room. Like he's just not realised that Sainz is amazing. Yeah, of course. And then I watched it again, and you can like as you said, like Sainz has just gone flying into that corner, like expecting Antonelli to move out of the way.
Very erratic.
He just hasn't.
Also, Antonelli's a rookie, so do you really think he's gonna?
Yeah,
he's got to prove himself. Carlos Sainz doesn't really have to prove himself.
Yeah, and speaking of Sainz, he was on for a good weekend. He got third in the sprint.
He did very well.
He did very well.
I think he was 8th at the time when that incident happened. So he was on for a good weekend, and he was talking after the sprint race, going, I think he said something like, "I've had bad luck this year. I'm finally having my good luck." Well, what have you done? You just went to the side of someone.
Yeah, but that's not bad luck. It's stupidity.
Well, yeah, exactly. But he's at the bit of that.
I would say on that though. His teammate, what a run! What a race from him.
Who?
Alex
Albon. Yeah.
Because he came 18th to 5th.
Yeah, he really put his foot down.
What a weekend!
In the sprint?
No, in the race.
No, in the race.
He finished 5th, I think.
No, in the race he finished P14.
P14.
Yeah,
I must have been.
In the sprint he was 6th.
I read somewhere that he came out P18 to P6 or 5. I don't know. I thought that was in the race. Maybe
wasn't that Singapore or something? He finished.
No, I'm pretty sure it was this weekend. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. But he didn't finish P5 because Leclerc finished P5.
Well, in the sprint though, did he not come from near the back?
I thought he did.
Oh no, he had a poor qualifying.
Yeah.
But he came through. I think he finished P6.
If he finished 6th, I got it one position wrong, but still, it was good.
We will VAR it.
VAR.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the. I also want to talk about Tsunoda and Behrman.
Tsunoda, man, what are you doing?
Right, congratulations, Tsunoda, on getting points. You're finally doing your job that you were expected to do. Well done. Love you, by the way. Come on the podcast. But What is he doing? What?
Well, I don't know what.
I don't know what. I don't know how it was. It wasn't even investigated.
How much did he slip the race officials?
Well, this is why I'm thinking: how are people paying race officials at this point? Because it's getting to a point where they're so corrupt place.
Inconsistent.
It was crazy.
Like I think Science has got a 5-place grid penalty for the Science. No, yeah, he's got.
Yeah, he got 5.
Yeah. He got a 5-place grid penalty, and then I think Antonelli going around the outside of Behrman in the sprint. I think he's got like a 10-second penalty, and people were saying that's a bit like.
And you've let that slip by.
Yeah.
Sonoda just went, yeah, you're not allowed on the track, mate.
Yeah.
Just like,
I was like,
but
it's when they go and blame it on the other driver.
Yeah.
Again,
that's what
like Lance Stroll,
who
blames Daniel Ricciardo for slowing down under a safety car.
Oh yeah. Be more aware.
That's what gets me. If you own up to it and say that was partly my fault, okay, that's fine. At least you've admitted it.
Yeah.
But if you go straight forward on your radio straight after the incident and go what the and all this and start blabbering and all that about the other driver, I just think that's disrespectful because you've just done that yourself.
Yeah.
Do not blame. Also, again, Ollie's a rookie.
Yeah.
He's not going to think. You have to think in that mentality. There's how many rookies are on the grid? 6, 5, 6.
I classify it as 4, but
Fernando Alonso counts.
Technically, but technically Behrman's not because he's done 3 races before, and you have
but
to.
He hasn't had a full season.
He's a rookie.
But Ollie is a rookie, and I think Lawson is not a
on the
rookie.
Technicality, Lawson's not because he's done 2 seasons. Colapinto's not because he had the permanent drive at Williams last year, so he's not. Who else am I? Am I forgetting someone else? No, I'm not. I think for me, I still classify Behrman as a rookie, but under rules, he's not.
But you have to have that mentality, especially like the older drivers will get it because they've seen, like especially Luce and Fernando, all these drivers come up. You have to have that mentality that these rookies are not going to know what they're doing half the time.
Yeah.
Well, they know what they're doing, but going into corners around lots of people, it's a massive new environment, especially on tracks that they've never driven before.
Yeah.
So you can't just go ahead and blame it straight on that person. And I think Yuki Tsunoda is a brilliant driver. He's just had a shocker.
Yeah.
And sometimes he just lets his mouth run a little bit too far, in my opinion.
Yes.
And decides
little man syndrome.
Bloody hell.
I also think he just decides to dive bomb it and take the consequences that come with it, which then leads to him.
Well, no consequences, clearly.
Well, clearly, but
you can just brake check in front of someone and get away with it. That's the rules. Fernando Alonso got a penalty for apparently doing that in Austin last year, Australia last year.
Did you see Red Bull got fined for moving Lando's sticker for his grade?
Oh, that was funny though. That was funny. That's top house shithousery.
I love pettiness like that, and I love it.
How much? They must have like 50,000 euros or something like that.
It's 25k.
Was it 25? Oh, I saw 50 something.
Oh, it might be. No,
it was top class shithousery.
I was like, this is brilliant.
Let me just quickly run through running order. Much I can touch on a few drivers. George Russell P6, P2 in the sprint, and I think the Mercedes struggled in the heat. They normally do, and I think it showed. Tsunoda 7th, Hulkenberg, best of the rest, I think.
I feel bad for Hulkenberg in the sprint.
But he was starting P4. I was interested to see what he could do, and then I
was like, "Come on, Nico!" I was so happy when he got his podium. But I was like, give him another one.
It's his first points finished since Silverstone.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's been hungover on the champagne since then, building Lego or whatever. I don't know what he's been doing.
He's been rebuilding the Silverstone.
It all fell apart, didn't it? But yeah, Behrman also in the points. I think he's 2 back-to-back points. He's looking good at the moment. I think he's gone under the radar. I think he's there or thereabouts with Ocon. I think he's been really good this season. Alonso in the points as well, dragging that Aston Martin to positions where it shouldn't really be. Liam Lawson P11, Lance Stroll P12. Obviously, that crash in the sprint race is I don't know what's going through his mind. Antonelli P13 had to recover after his incident with Sainz. Albon P14, Ocon P15, Hadjar was nowhere P16, Colapinto 17th, Bortoleto 18th, Gasly 19th, Sainz non-classified, didn't finish the race. Can I say as well, I like the little punchiness from Colapinto at the end with Gasly.
Yeah, I don't get why they told him to hold positions for...
Because Pierre Gasly was, I think he was lifting coasting to save fuel.
Yeah, but he was going to get overtaken by Bortoleto.
Yeah, but it was to it was just to hold up Bortoleto so that Pierre Gasly can save fuel, I think. But Colin Pinto's fight, he said, "Oh, but I'm fighting for my seat." But you're also denying team orders as well.
Yeah, which is not really a good look.
Which isn't a great thing. But from what I'm hearing, he will keep his seat, which I
think it's good. I think he's turned it around in the second half of the season. He's not been as bad.
There's so much of a better drivers.
But he's not-
How many points has he scored?
No, I know, but how many points has Gasly scored? It's not that many.
20.
20?
He's scored.
Really?
Yeah, he's done well this season.
Yeah, but in terms
So
of...
that Alpine is the shocking.
As I say,
car.
it's
yeah.
stunk
It's
up the car.
Alpine put an apology out, I think, saying sorry about the poor weekend and how poor their car's been.
I feel bad for Jack Doohan. He had, 5 races?
If it wasn't for the safety car in Bahrain, he would have finished 9th.
Yeah, I do feel bad for Jack Doohan because they were like, oh, we'll bring in Franco Colapinto
For like 5 races.
for like 5 races
Yeah.
or something, see how he does. And I
he's
was like,
stayed.
he's just stayed. So he's technically signed for Alpine.
I also
Yeah.
think revenue, though, for Colapinto is a big factor why they've kept him, because when I went to Belgium this year, the amount of Argentinian flags there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Massive.
Just go into the
incredible.
comment section, all you see is on
He's
Yeah.
massive, like branding wise. It's a bit like Perez.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He'll be back. He'll be back next year. Next year. He'll probably be in Mexico this weekend as well.
Yeah.
I reckon
I
Cadillac.
was gonna say-
I
I was
reckon
gonna say
Cadillac.
speaking
I
of-
reckon Cadillac will do some sort of thing. I reckon. I don't know if they will, but
Probably.
might as well.
Bring the fans in, why not?
Shall we get into the predictions? Obviously,
Yeah.
he wasn't here last week, so didn't take part in the predictions.
Yeah.
But take part this week. So I got 3 points this week. I predicted Verstappen to win the sprint and be on pole for the sprint, and also predicted Hamilton to finish 5th.
Well done.
Let's go.
Nice.
Matt, you only got 1 point.
I know.
Verstappen to win the race.
Yeah, I looked back at it and I was
Had a
like, why did
howler.
I not put Verstappen on pole for either of the races? Because he's been the best in
Yeah.
qualifying this year. I should have done it.
And I know you're picking over my shoulder. Liam's going to got 4 points.
Wow.
All I'm going to say is I'm going to make the Max Verstappen of our prediction table
Literally,
title charge.
like second half of the season's gone on title charge. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what he's doing. You predicted Verstappen to be on pole for the sprint, pole for the race, won the race, and also finished second. So good job there. In terms of the championship leaderboard, I've now overtaken. We're now not
It's
number
the
one.
first time since the start of the season.
Yeah,
I've got
I haven't
behind.
led the whole time. I'm now on 19 points. Matt, you're on 17. Liam, I've combined the points that we had before with you, and you're on 12 points. So you're not actually that far off.
I'm literally
you could
Max
do
Verstappen.
you could honestly
I
you could do it.
Let the lead
Liam's now the
host take
shark.
the lead. I had to let you take the lead.
Yeah, and do it right at the end.
I thought it was really mean.
Get
to
Marco
let
Massi
to-
on the
to
phone
lead the lead
on the
host.
last race.
Yeah.
And,
I didn't want to beat you because it's unfair
Rhys,
when you're
mate.
the lead host.
Oh, okay.
All I'm going to say, don't do a Piastri, mate. Don't bottle under the pressure.
Okay,
Yeah,
no.
don't bottle it.
No, nice. Okay. Predictions for this weekend. No sprint, so not as many to predict. That's probably why we got more points this weekend. Thank God. Be back in Brazil though and Qatar. So looking forward to that. Paul, who do you think? Paul. Paul.
I've learnt from last week. Verstappen.
I've got a back for Stappen here. Yeah.
I'm going to go Norris. I'm going to go outlandish.
I'm gonna go with Lando Norris as well.
Where are we? Mexico. That's right.
Mexico. Race winner.
Verstappen again. Red Bull always go well around Mexico. They always go well.
I'm going to say Verstappen as well.
Boring. So boring.
Well, no,
But I wanna
'cause
get points. I
I'm
wanna get
thinking
points.
Logically, if he's on pole, he'll
He'll win the race.
win it.
I think
unless-
if he's not on pole, he'll win it.
Unless something
I
happens
think
to his car.
I think there's a stat where it's like I don't think anyone who's starting pole in Mexico has won the race.
Well, he'll do it.
Well,
he'll
it
break
comes
the
on to
curse.
my... I was also going to say
Apart from stance
Verstappen.
last year, I think. No. Oh.
Sorry.
Go.
Sorry.
Sorry, no,
That's-
go.
sorry.
Sorry.
I was also going to say Verstappen. But that's because I feel like there's going to be some sort of wheel-to-wheel racing and he's just...
Someone.
Yeah.
I think Verstappen as well. I think he's won there 5 times.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
The
that's
Red
it.
Bull
He's alright around there. So second, third, might as well just wheel those off.
Norris and Piastri in that
I
order.
think the other way around. I think Piastri
Ooh,
Norris.
really?
I think Piastri could do it.
I'm going to go Norris and Leclerc. I think Piastri's going to have another bad
I
weekend.
like that.
Right, the first thing that came to my head, I'm going to go with Norris and Hamilton on.
Oh, he
the
thinks
podium.
I love that
Hamilton's
podium.
gonna come through.
I don't know. I just had the image of
elements coming through.
maybe a little bit, but I just have the image of he's overtaking Mexico 2023, and I love that. And yeah, he's inspired me.
We hope that Hamilton gets a podium.
Yeah.
Hopefully, that's what we want to see. So for the two, we have two random predictions. That can be the most random thing for the race.
Oh, nice. Really
First one is the other one is literally like I told my brother about it. It was like, what the hell are you doing? But 11th place.
11th.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Alonso.
Oh, I'm gonna say Nico Hülkenberg.
I'm going to say Alex Albon.
I'm going Bortoletto.
See, these all feel like good punts. They all feel like good punts.
This one might have to explain it a bit better, but driver with the slowest, fastest lap.
No, I get that. I get it. So like the slowest lap that qualified. Like
No. So in the race, obviously the fastest lap. Every driver has their fastest lap of the race.
I get what you
but
mean.
who has
the slowest one out of everyone?
Yeah.
I think it'll be Colapinto.
Okay. I wonder why.
I don't want to say it because I love him. I think Ollie Behrman.
Wow, betrayal.
I know. Yeah. I love you.
Go back to boy.
I also think Colapinto. Just self-explanatory.
Because the thing is, a driver could literally just do, even if they do one lap, and they retire like 2 laps later.
I was thinking this is like
that could happen.
Could someone get contact at the start, do a lap, but it's really slow.
Because Sainz was bottom, I think, but he only did some laps. So, and obviously at the end fuel burns off. I'm going with I don't know. I'm gonna go with Alex Albon.
Ooh.
I don't know why. Just feel like it. Just feel like throwing it out there.
That's hard to think about.
Yeah, that's.
I have to think about.
Yeah.
I'd go down rookies because apart from Antonelli and Hadjar, who for some reason seem to have a rocket behind them.
Yeah. So I think that is everything this week. I think that this episode's been quite long, but we have 4 people, so a lot to talk about. A lot of
tangents.
Yeah, we're not throwing a little bit.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
We do apologise.
We
do apologise. But that's going to be it for this week's episode of The Chequered Show. Make sure you check us out on TikTok, Instagram, subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. And we'll catch you next week for the Mexican Grand Prix with you.